What's up, guys? So this is going to be my review for Arrow Season 6, Episode 2, titled Tribute. This episode is a really big improvement over last week. It was a pretty incredible episode. Right at the beginning, there is like the biggest Batman name drop in Arrowverse history, and it is glorious. This episode has also a new title sequence of like all the Team Arrow members, and I'm pretty sure it's in order of when they were introduced from like last introduced to first introduced. First it's Black Canary, which was introduced last, and then Wild Dog, and then Curtis, Mr. Terrific, and then Overwatch was Felicity, and then Spartan, and then Green Arrow. And it's pretty cool that's in order, and it's just an overall really cool title sequence. The fight scenes this episode were top-notch. Some of the best fight scenes Arrow has ever done. Something I've noticed so far this season, and a little bit last season, is that the most exciting fight scenes come from Green Arrow, Black Canary, and Mr. Terrific. Wild Dog and Spartan use guns, which like isn't very exciting or different or original. Every show does that. I don't know, I don't really enjoy watching people get like shoot guns that much. But Green Arrow has a bow and arrow, which isn't like new to the show. Obviously, it's the main weapon of the show. But it's still a lot more enjoyable and satisfying to watch than a gun. Black Canary has her Canary Cry, which is also exciting and different, and so much better than Laurel's Canary Cry in Season 3 and 4, basically just because of the effect. And then Mr. Terrific has his T-Spheres, which is surprising how much I enjoy watching him throw that thing at bad guys and then watching it come back to him, or fly back with that mechanic noise or that robotic noise. It's pretty enjoyable. But moving away from the action, this episode had a lot of other things going for it. Unlike the premiere, this episode definitely pulled off the cliffhanger of the previous episode much better. It was great. We still don't know who leaked the photo. I'm hoping it's actually Chase. They actually mentioned that in the episode. I didn't expect them to, but they did. Honestly, I'm hoping that Chase like planned so much ahead that not only released that photo, but also somehow brought together the main bad guys this season. Prometheus was like done dirty by last episode because it didn't end up killing anybody, just Samantha, which nobody actually cares about. So I really want him to like get something, like get a win, just because he was such a great villain. And one of the main parts of why he was such a great villain is because he won. But in Season 6, they made it so he didn't kill anybody, which is so disappointing. But that's not this episode. It was last episode. So while I really wanted that Chase released that photo, it's almost definitely Black Siren using the prototype T-Sphere to get a good picture of Green Arrow, and then Caden James or somebody photoshopping the Oliver Queen picture in, or something like that. But anyway, speaking of villains, Anatoly is back and was basically just a great villain this episode. Nothing really to elaborate on that. He was just a good villain. The Felicity Curtis scenes were fine. Their banter was funny at times, but it felt mostly pointless. And I say mostly because at the end, they decide to start a business together. And if the future and Felicity's ego is any indication, the business is going to be called Smoke Technologies. Curtis isn't getting any name recognition. The Oliver Williams scenes were great this episode, probably even better than last episode. So much so that throughout this episode, I actually felt myself wanting Oliver to retire as a vigilante, just so he could spend as much time with William and just not die, because he's a vigilante. And it was actually pretty satisfying seeing him give up or retire being Green Arrow at the end of the episode, but I'm assuming it's gonna only be for 1 week. Next episode is probably gonna be back in the suit at the end or in the middle. In conclusion, this episode was almost flawless, with great fight scenes, a great villain, great story and side story, and some funny moments. The only thing wrong with this episode is the Felicity Curtis scenes were mostly pointless, and it was really frustrating seeing Diggle, like how he didn't end up telling Oliver he had nerve damage. That's basically the only thing keeping this episode from getting a 100% 10 out of 10. But instead, a 9.8 out of 10. So, this episode was great. What do you think about the episode? Let me know in the comments down below. And also, you could vote in the top right corner saying what you thought about the episode. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.